Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day. In this video, I wanted to talk about heartbreak and the courage to still be vulnerable. I feel like I've talked a lot about like loneliness and missing someone, but it's an ongoing thing. I think for everyone, especially when you have a longing heart and you want to find someone uh, to share life with and do life with. You want to, maybe your intentions are having a family and being married and, um, doing kind of like the thing that I feel like we're called to do naturally, but like in the eyes of God, like we're given this gift of procreation, being able to create life. It's such a gift. And I applaud anyone who's found that in a relationship and is married and is in love and has a wonderful relationship. Um, but so heartbreak, I think we've all had our hearts broken before. I think we've all had uh, someone that we knew who we thought was so amazing and that we wanted everything with that person. Um, and then when it's gone, our hopes were so high in thinking that it was going to work out, and when it doesn't, it's just, you feel crushed. You feel crushed, and you feel like, man, like I had invested like time and money and in the effort of like trying to, you know, steer this in a direction that it's going to be a long, like, relationship with a life partner, getting married and all that stuff. And I feel like, I think some people would say it's unhealthy that, you do see a future with someone so quickly, but I don't think it's good to not see if that person is compatible with you long term. I just don't think that's good at all. I think you have to, and when I say that, I'm saying I don't think it's good to not try and see if that person is going to match with you. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to do that, I think, because if you're not like dating with intention, um, what are you doing? I mean, are you just trying to just see where things go and this and that with no direction, like no sense of direction of like, what's the long-term goal here? Why are we seeing each other? Why are we going out? It's all those things. Why should I invite you to meet my family or friends and vice versa? Why would you go meet their family and friends if there's no intention of, something long term? And I mean, like, when I say long term, I don't mean like a couple years relationship, because that's just honestly kind of dumb in my opinion. I don't think that it's good that people do want to date with the intention of like, yeah, I might be in a relationship with this person for a couple of years, and then it goes, that doesn't seem fulfilling at all. And I don't mean in the sense that you should be with someone because they're going to complete you. You need to be a completed whole person going into a relationship. It's very important, because if you look to them for fulfilling whatever emptiness or void you have in you, that it's going to put undue stress, and it's going to weigh the relationship down, and it, probably won't work, truthfully. So what can you do as men or women to still be vulnerable when you've had so much heartbreak? and the feelings of loneliness. And, I've definitely had a lot of thoughts where it's just like, man, it is so hard to find someone that checks all my boxes. Um, and in my counseling, I talked to the man who's discipling me. I told him, I was like, this last girl, she was great. Like, she checked all my boxes, truly, like, checked all my boxes in the sense that we had common interests. We wanted the same things out of life. She was very attractive. She was the girl that I was like, okay, I can see a life with this one. I can see, imagining in my head, looking forward to the day that I died, honestly, that she was going to be everything that I needed in a relationship. I don't want to say that she was perfect, but because no one is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one will ever be perfect. Jesus was the only one who was perfect. But I want to say that she was kind of perfect for me, between everything we liked and wanted. I was just like, this is great. And I asked myself, I was like, are my standards too high? Is my sense of what I'm looking for in a woman, is that just impossible for someone to fulfill? And he goes, no, I don't think those are high standards. There's nothing wrong with wanting a woman, or if you're a woman, wanting a man that you're attracted to, that you have common interests in, that you guys both have a heart for God and you're strong in your faith, and that you're able to talk and, be together in the sense that you guys can just talk about things and that it's easy. He goes, no, I don't think those are high standards at all. It's just, it's just kind of how it is. And I think that it's probably good to have those kind of standards, honestly. I don't think that people should settle for their life partner or any type of relationship. I don't think people should settle for mediocrity in the sense that you're choosing someone that you're not compatible with, truly. And I don't think relationships that are like that, where someone settles, or when both people settle for something, that it's not going to work in the long run. I just don't think it's going to work. Some people I know who are in relationships, and the marriage has digressed into basically just friendship, and there's nothing really there anymore, but they just won't get divorced, and they're both living unhappy lives, and that's just no way to live. And you need to choose a partner who you're going to love forever, and you're going to build something great with. Not build something up on a foundation of sand that'll just be destroyed. It needs to be a solid, concrete foundation in your relationship. And I think I keep getting off this topic, but vulnerability, it takes true bravery to be vulnerable, to keep putting yourself out there, and kind of like me, to continuously have your heart broken. Because, me personally, when I do meet someone that's amazing, that I think is gonna be there for life, it's something I visualize with them, and then it doesn't work out. It sucks. It sucks, and it causes feelings of emptiness and loneliness. And, me personally, and I'm sure a lot of other guys feel this way, or women, you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you're never going to be good enough for someone else either, because you like this person so much, and then they're gone, and then you're just like, well, damn, what do I do? And it's so hard, or I would say it's so easy to just kind of give up and write it off and just think to yourself, I'm just going to be alone forever. I'm never going to find somebody, and this and that. And it's very normal to feel like that, but me, I'm a hopeless romantic. I think that there is someone out there for me. Maybe I've met them, and maybe the timing wasn't right or whatever. Some people might think that's unhealthy, but that's just how my mind works. I know a lot of people who are much older than I am, I should say, probably like 10 or 20 years older than me, in their 40s or 50s, who are with someone now who they knew earlier in life that they kind of had a short romantic relationship, but it just wasn't the right time. It just didn't work out. But then, years down the road, a lot longer than I would like it to be personally, but years down the road, they end up getting married, and they're really happy together, and they're, it's just kind of weird how that timing works, where both people are in the place that they need to be in life for that relationship to work. So to be vulnerable, I think that you have to keep trying. You have to keep putting yourself out there in whatever ways you can. And I'll say this, if you're doing the online dating thing, online dating sucks. It just sucks. It's just, honestly, it's like gambling. You're pulling a slot machine of, is this person gonna like me? And then let's say they do like you back, and then they send you one message and you reply, and then you never get a response back. It's just like, I question sometimes, are any of these people real? Are any of these women actually real people? Because it just seems like they're almost like fake profiles there just to keep you like on the app. You know what I mean? So I don't think online dating is all that great, but if you're kind of like me, who doesn't drink, like I drink a little bit, but I don't like go out and party. I don't go to the clubs or the bars. And honestly, that's no place where you probably want to meet your future wife, honestly. That's just my opinion on that. If, like I said, if you're not a person that like goes out and really socializes, you're kind of a homebody, or you have a small friend group, it's very hard to meet people. It seems like most of the time too, when I've asked women in public, like, just like when I'm out and about running errands, and you kind of run into somebody, and they seem really nice, and you ask them like, hey, do you like have a boyfriend or something like that? And they usually say yes. I feel like a lot of the women who are probably good matches for me are already with someone else. And that's totally fine. It's just how it goes. Same for women when they go and they're like out and about, and they kind of run into a nice guy, and they're like, hey, are you like seeing anyone? And I feel like women are not usually the type to ask that, but some are. And that's very bold, and I think that women should do that more often. And I think men, especially young men, if you're worried about rejection or whatever, it's just them saying no. It's not like you're gonna meet them and like in 30 seconds, all you visualize this life happening. I mean, like when you visualize having like seeing a future with them, that you meet them at least like on the first date and you guys talk for a little bit and you're like, okay, we have all these boxes checked. Okay, now do I see this being something lasting? That's what I'm saying. I really don't think that you're going to meet someone like right off the bat and just know like, oh yeah, this is my wife. Some people do. That's great. If you have that love at first sight kind of deal and it actually is that, that's wonderful. I just think that's very hard to find. Very hard. So if you got to do the online dating thing, do it. I'm just going to tell you that it sucks. It really does suck, especially when social media is such a big thing and like you might be talking to a girl on Hinge or whatever dating website it is. But then they have like a huge following on their socials like Facebook or Instagram. There's like probably 100 different guys in there that are in her DMs that are constantly just trying to get her attention. And I feel like social media is a dating app in its sense, in the sense that it's another way to put yourself out there. So I think as much as dating apps are like trying to get people to be intentional, people have people in their DMs and commenting on their photos and this and that, asking them like, you have a boyfriend or whatever, makes it very difficult, especially when someone says, oh, I don't care about my socials. I just upload for me. I honestly don't believe that at all. I've seen enough of that in people that I know that it's kind of a lie when they say it, or especially Snapchat. I really think Snapchat is the worst social media app because it's literally a cheating device. People may not like me saying that, and Facebook and Instagram can be that too, but Snapchat is the devil. Like it really is. It's the worst one. It's the worst one I think that people can have. And, I'll just say this, if a woman does have Snapchat on her phone, I'd be wary, But honestly, I'm telling you guys, be vulnerable, be brave, put yourself out there. But there's a lot of things working against you. But you have to be brave enough to combat against those things. And maybe you do meet someone who doesn't have Snapchat and isn't self-absorbed into their socials. I just think that in this day and age, it's very hard to find someone like that. Like, I don't know anyone, women particularly, that don't have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Like, it's so ingrained in our culture. I'll probably talk about that in another video about how social media is just bad for us. How we're so connected, but we're so disconnected in reality. So be vulnerable. Ask that nice girl, maybe she's single. Maybe she does give you your number or whatever, her number, I mean. Join a singles group, like at your local church or something, where you're going to be maybe like, obviously being around the people or being around people that are the same age as you, that obviously have common interests and a shared faith with you, because that's very important. You got to be equally yoked. Talk to other people, maybe too, like, you know, and not, I'm saying like, if you're talking to someone, talk to other people. That's not what I'm saying. No, I'm saying like, talk to other like friends and family, or people that you trust, that you can be like, hey, like, do you know anyone who's nice, who, might be single, that, they're interested in dating? I don't know. I mean, you have to try somehow to put yourself out there, and, you know, you have to be brave. True bravery is being vulnerable, and I'm not saying don't be stoic. What I'm saying is be vulnerable in the sense that you have to keep trying. Because if you do give up and you just kind of just quit on finding someone, then you're never going to find someone. And what good is that going to do you in the long run if you're just like, I just quit, I give up? That's not how I would want to live. I've had my time of giving up and not wanting to do anything about life, and that never got me anywhere. That just made things worse. So I think I have said what I needed to say. Be vulnerable, have discernment when you're dating and putting yourself out there. Make sure your communication skills are sharp, that you're emotionally available. Don't think you're so jaded that you're not going to see goodness in people, because you will. You'll meet someone good. At least I hope you do. I definitely think that there's someone out there for everyone. So whatever you do, do it well. Do it well and be brave. Have a good day.